at all. You know, you just come in here, waltz up in here like it ain't nothing. So, late who? What you talking to? I wasn't late. Time goes on, baby. They say the God is always on. We on a different type of time, baby. I'm just saying to you. Y'all know what's about to happen. Come on, let's come through. Yeah. Record, tape, CD, MP3, iPad, Sony Walkman. How did you used to do it, baby? Talk to me. T carry right, Kim's whims, yo. How y'all feeling tonight? Sorry I'm late. Please don't get on my case or try to hate. Y'all just don't know what kind of day from. Early I had to get up and play, but everything's gonna work out. And in case you was ever in doubt, there's no way I'm not gonna come through. Why? Because it's not something that I do. Y'all are important to this whole movement. Every day I'm striving for a little improvement. You can't always get much better, but you can always strive. Don't let a bad feeling or a bad time get you down in the dumps, cause I'm here to tell you that it's going to get better every day. You know the play with the lights. Yo. Get it pop. What? There's no trust, baby. It's gonna be okay. I gotta fix the problem now. Gonna solve it, gonna show you how. Gotta get it right now. I ain't got no monitor. Let's get this thing. Hold on, because this is not right. I have no trust. I have no trust, baby. Okay, I guess we okay. Nope. I have no trust. Gotta go down, baby. Do, 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 do. I'm gonna keep playing though. Da-na-na-na-na. Da-na-na. Da-na-na-na. Da-na-na. Da-na-na-na. Hey, yo, you know, technical difficulties happen. You got to roll with it. Da 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 Stop playing with me. Don't play with me today, please. Okay, there we go. Okay, at least that popped up, right? Da 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 All right, y'all still rocking with me or nah? Y'all still rocking with me or nah? What up? Can y'all hear me or nah? Let me see. See, I don't have no proof that y'all here. I really don't. If anybody is here, let me know. Let me know. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Because I have no proof of audio. I got no proof of nothing. I'm just out here. Da da da. Da 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 da. Da da da. 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 Da 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 da. Da da da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. All right, y'all can hear me. Da 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 da. Da da da. This is rough. All right. Hopefully we can move around without no craziness. We can move around without any craziness. We're going to go solo. Like Cool G rapping Polo. What up? Look, technical difficulties last night. Sleep difficulties and technical difficulties night. But we here. And it's Friday night, and we normally have a lot of fun on a Friday night, and I'm not gonna settle for less. We are the best. We won't settle for less. Yeah. Shout out to Chic. I freak out. Something always gotta go crazy. Yo, it won't faze me. Still gonna let it go. Still gonna let it flow. Yo, and the more it flows, the better that it goes. Worry about nothing now. Submarine, let it down. Everything is cool. What up? Yeah, are we cool, y'all? Will I ever sell you out? Never been what I'm about. Sun up in the sky. Floor down on the ground. Or should I say dirty is what you always gonna find. Always gonna find that. Worms, roaches, and the rats. Don't let it get you there. You have to take care. Your biz as it really comes. Don't let them have it out there looking dumb. I ain't gonna let them do it. I ain't gonna let them do it. We gonna get right to it right now. We gonna get to it right now. Gonna get to it right now. Gonna get to it right now. Go to it right now. Get to it right now. Get to it right now. Get to it right now. Yo, so what's your favorite, man? Which era had the best music? Records? Vinyl records, that is. 8-track cassette tapes. Well, when them CDs came out, could it be the MP3s? Now, I don't think you can deny the clarity of sound when it comes to digital MP3s. But there are, or should I say there is, a large segment of the population out there that'll tell you, no, I like the way certain records sound on vinyl. Or I like the way hip hop sound on tape. Because if you think about it, if you were born in that era, most of the music that you were listening to were on that device. So just because they remastered certain music or brought it back out and you can hear it on MP3, it doesn't mean that you will be valuing it as being the best. You might look at it like, I'm telling you, when I used to rap my tape, wait a minute. I said, when I used to rock my tape, it was when I used to come home and play the records, baby. It wasn't nothing like when I popped that tape in. Wasn't nothing like when I let the 45s in the album spin. Yo, take me back. Keep me here. When it got rid of records, my future was unclear. Something had to be to it, cause they brought them back. Well, what's up with y'all? What's up with that? Are y'all ready now? Are we gonna be around? Going to the record store. Yo, give me a like if you used to consider going to a record store an experience. If you used to, hold on. If you used to have a spiritual experience when you used to go to a record store to buy some records, tapes, or CDs, give me a like. You can either like the show or you can just, hold on. You can just put the like in the comments. You know what I'm talking about. My old heads know what I'm talking about. If you used to look forward to going to the record store because you had a list of records that you already knew that you wanted to buy, And you was hype as hell. Like, yo, I'm gonna go buy me. I'm gonna buy me that brand new Tina Marie. Rick James. Rick James. Soundtrack to fame. Yeah. What? Buy me that Saturday Night Fever album. Soundtrack to Grease. If you felt bad, yo, I'm telling you, if you felt bad when Tower Records went down, Sam Goody, Peaches, yeah, you go back real. You remember the record store chain Peaches, but if you was sad when places like that went belly up, or whatever your local record store was, because some cities had their own record store chain, and DJs, shout out to all the DJs, they had they place where they bought their records, because they had to get them underground 12 inches. Matter of fact, put it in the comments, y'all. If your city had a famous record store, it doesn't have to be nationally famous. Just put it in there. Show them some love. It ain't gonna put no money in their pocket, but let them know that you was there and you miss them. Sound out the sound of Germantown. Shout out the sound of Germantown. Shout out the sound of Market Street. Shout out the sound of Market Street. Shout out the sound of 52nd. Yo, what you know? Sound of Germantown. Sound of Germantown Records. Man, listen. That's where, those back in the days when they used to have a DJ in the store playing them new songs. You go in the record store, be like, what's that? Yo, give me that record. Yo, record stores, a lot of record stores were instrumental in selling records and helping artists out. You just don't know. But when you know, you know. We here. Just know we remember you. Let's get it popping. Urban Therapy with Sun 752, and this your daily. It's the Daily Go-Getter-mism show. You think it ain't when it is? You think it won't when it whiz? We are here and we are in motion. We do this thing, taking off fast lane, no coasting, and everything is going to be all right. We talking about records, tapes, CDs, and MP3s tonight. Which one was your favorite? Which one had you where you were supposed to be? Hold on, man. I don't have no drink. I swear to God, I'm messed up. Sheesh. Let me try to get right. I ain't got no cola ring. It ain't gonna be no cola ring. All right, cool. But we gonna get some water up in here. We gotta get some water up in here, man. I gotta do something. Please excuse me. Well, we gotta get, it's gonna go the way it go. It's gonna go the way it go. It's gonna flow the way it flow. What up, y'all? What up? How y'all feeling tonight? Sorry about that, man. I'm sorry about everything. It ain't about the way you start, it's about the way you finish, though. It ain't about the way you start, it's the way you finish, and you know I always go by that. And hopefully y'all go by it too. What up? T Carry right morning, noon, and night. It's always great to have my peoples going directly into your site. And Kim's Wims, what's going on, my friend? And thanks for coming through from the beginning to end. And Stacy White, thanks for coming on tonight. I appreciate you coming through. Let's keep the game tight. So y'all see what we talking about. Records, tape, CD, or MP3s. Records, tape, CDs, or MP3s. Tonight we are talking about which platform of playing music was the best. Which platform of playing music was the best? Now we got two ways that we can talk about this. Two ways that we can express ourselves about it. What up, Blue? Thanks for coming through. Appreciate you. We have two ways we can think about how this came through. Like, for example, we can talk about what music or which platform of the record, the vinyl records, the 8-tracks or the cassettes or the CDs or MP3s, which one sounds better. Overall, I think digital music is probably going to win that. But we can talk about which one is your favorite. And then we can talk about the other part of it, which is at the time when only certain platforms were available. Because we can look at it now, we can listen to MP3s right now and say, well, everything that ever came out sounds better on MP3. Some may say that, plenty may say that. But the question is, do you say that? Do you say that? And were you satisfied with the music that you were getting when it was out? Were you satisfied with the music that you were getting when it was out? In other words, when you only had records, because a lot of people didn't have a cassette player, so they just bought, they may have had a record player, so they only listened to the record player. And there's one that I left out. There's one that I left out. Can y'all think of which one I left out? And it's probably the one that has been around longer than all of the other ones combined. Maybe. Maybe not. I might be wrong about that. Which platform of listening to your favorite music is missing here? Because there's one very important one that's not here. Which one is it, y'all? Which one is it? Kim, T. Carey Wright, Stacy, Blue. Which mode of listening to music is not here? And it's probably the one that if any of y'all were born in the 90s or better, boom. Richard Order got it. Radio. The radio. A lot of people didn't have no record player. They didn't have no record player. They didn't have no tape player. They didn't have no CD player, CD disc changer. They didn't have that. But what they had was the radio. Waiting for your favorite songs to come on. Calling into the station maybe. Requesting your favorite song. There's another one. Besides the radio. And thank you, Richard Order. Appreciate you. There's one more. There is one more. At least one more. I couldn't fit them all inside the poll because they only allow 4. MTV, no. But you close. You're close. There's one very, very important one. There's one very important one that's missing here. And all of us, anybody who was born from the 80s on down. Richard Order said live. Ooh, live. Ooh, yeah. But if your favorite choice was to listen live, that's tough. You know what I mean? That's a tough one. But yo, stick around for the rest of this show because at the end of this show, I'm going to let y'all know what the next week's show is going to be. I've never done that before, but I'm ready. I already got the bullets in the gun. But there's still one more. Kim Swim says the box on television. You're close. But this is before music videos. But what I'm talking about may have may have been a way to play music videos too. It may have involved videos too. Come on, y'all, put y'all thinking caps on. This one here was a good. This one was a good look. Whether you had a record player, whether you had a tape player, whether you had a CD player, whether you had an MP3 player. There's one missing from here that was mad important. Come on. Yo, I know one of y'all know it. You're just not thinking about it right now. Somebody is listening in the background and they just haven't written it. They like, no, I'm not writing it. I'm not getting into that. Not doing it. Stacey White says, I used to win prizes too. Calling into the radio station? That's cool. That's what's up. Come on, y'all. Come on. Kim Swim says the cassette. No, we talk about the cassette. The 8-track and the cassette is on there. And you know what? That's on the poll too. But there's one form of playing music that sounded great. That we all have listened to. Every last one of us have used this. Just like the radio, each and every one of us have started our musical journey on the radio. This one is the same. If you were born before 1980, you definitely use this form of music to play your records, to play your tapes, to play your CDs, to play your MP3s. Come on, what y'all got? Walkman. Well, Walkman goes into the cassette. That goes into the cassette category. And also the radio category. Definitely. Yeah, I used to keep a Walkman in my ears. I'm surprised that I haven't suffered any hearing loss because I used to blast mine on a regular basis. Y'all almost there, man. Come on. I'm gonna give y'all just a couple of more seconds. Because I know when I say this, y'all gonna be like, oh my God, yes. I'm gonna give you one big hint. And on a lot of songs and a lot of records, they talked about this thing that played music, that you could play music on. They talked about this vintage record player, CD player, tape player, MP3 player. And they're still out. Some places still have this thing. I think. All right. I see that I might have to just go ahead and tell you. The jukebox. Don't front on or forget the jukebox. When you went to your favorite diner and you sat at your table with your mom and your dad, ordered your food. Jukebox right there. I love rock and roll. So put another dime in the jukebox, baby. I love rock and roll. So play another song and dance with me. Wow. Come on, man. Don't front on the jukebox. And depending on which jukebox, where the place was, where the jukebox was, the jukebox might have rocked the whole place. They may have rocked the whole place. Like all you had, you may not have had a live DJ, but you had that jukebox. Where all my bar flies out? Where all my bar flies? My bar hoppers that used to go from bar to bar. You know that jukebox was important. You know what I mean? Honorable mention if you've ever gotten into a fight or argument with somebody over the jukebox. Why my song? Excuse me. Why ain't my song playing on the jukebox? because I already put $2 in the jukebox and all my songs are playing before it gets to yours. They'll get to yours in about 18 songs. Just hold your horses. They're going to get to yours in about 18 songs. I love rock and roll. So put another dime in the jukebox, baby. I love rock and roll. So play another song and dance with me. Buana Haguski was good, my dude. Was good, man. Good to see y'all. And my man Art of Mine 559. What's good? What's good, man? Good to see y'all. Good to see y'all. Come on, man. Don't forget about that jukebox. Don't forget about the jukebox. I left the jukebox out on purpose. I wanted to see if anybody was going to ask about the jukebox. Yo, the jukebox. Some people had the jukebox that had the big speaker on it. And some people and some places had the jukebox that was hooked up to other speakers. So the song that you wanted to hear was in that jukebox, and the whole place would be listening to what you wanted to hear. So if you played a song back to back to back to back, they had to rock with that. They had to rock with that. And remember, looking at the jukebox, the way it worked, it would actually play it would take the records out of the catalog that it had and put the record on the record player. And you see the needle drop on that thing. Yo, the jukebox was state of the art. It was state of the art. Buana says the jukebox had a great sound system. So yeah, I totally agree. It's an actual fact. The jukebox was banging. And and you know what? They also had video jukeboxes. Now in the early 80s, early and mid 80s, there was a laundromat that was around the corner from my house. I mean, not my high school, my middle school. And that jukebox played videos. It was a video jukebox. It was a video jukebox, man. People went to that laundromat. Swear to God, they went to that laundromat just because it had that video jukebox. That video jukebox made that laundromat a lot of money. A lot of money. And I think that to see a video, it wasn't more than 50 cents. I think it was 3 videos for $1. Yes, it was. It was 50 cents a video, and it was 3 videos for $1. Yeah. Yeah, state-of-the-art stuff back then. State-of-the-art, the video jukebox. Watch your favorite video while you washing, drying, or getting your clothes ironed. It was a full-service washing laundromat with an attendant that would actually dry clean your clothes, too. It was a dry cleaners and a laundromat. A jukebox. Buana says the jukebox can make a bar really can make a bar really. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And he says, depending on the records, true. Places that I went to, they would rock the jukebox up until the time when the DJ was coming in. So like the after work party, the happy hour and all of that kind of stuff, you would rock the jukebox until about 8 o'clock. And at 8 o'clock, it was time for the live DJ to do his thing. It was rocking. It was rocking, baby. It was. Buana says that's a great idea. Jukebox in a laundromat. Yo, when I tell you, people from all around surrounding neighborhoods went to that laundromat because of that video jukebox. Now, anybody who was alive in the early 80s knows how big videos were. Videos, come on. And you know, they had video shows. I remember a show, there was a show called Video Rock. And there was and of course, Friday night videos, and MTV played videos. But MTV played videos. They were slow to play the videos. If you remember, you had to wait through a bunch of commercials for them to finally play a video. It was years before they finally played videos back to back to back, and then they came out with VH1. VH1 was a lot better, but remember, VH1 didn't play rap music. MTV and VH1 was real slow on playing rap music. They had to be force fed. Like, yo, you got to play some hip hop, man. You got to play some hip hop. The thing is coming on. They was resistant. MTV and especially VH1 was very hip hop resistant. Shit, VH1 ain't play nothing but rock music. If you think about it, pop music and rock music. VH1, it was called Video Hits 1. So they didn't consider no rap records to be hits, I guess. Okay. So all right, I think we're gonna be okay for the rest of the night. Please, y'all, do me one little solid. Please hit the like button. Hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. You don't want to subscribe to the channel, I understand. You don't want to share nothing, I understand. But please hit the like button. It helps the channel. It helps the channel. We're going to talk about something good tonight. I came in here late, but we're going to stay later. And we're going to stay later, and it's going to be greater. Cheryl Halsey, what's good? Good to see you, my always good to see y'all. So we talk about records, tapes, CDs, MP3s. Which one was the best, y'all? Which one was the best? When you think about your music, the music that you grew up with, which form of music player played the best music to you? Which one? Now, a lot of y'all might say MP3s because, you know, you hear all of the instruments. It's perfectly balanced. It's studio sound and blah, 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 blah. So when you listen to an MP3, you're basically listening to the music in the form that the artist who recorded it in the studio that recorded it, that's exactly how they wanted you to hear it. But you also have to remember that there's a thing called an equalizer. Bass and tone. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody who just had a record player or component set. Remember when we used to call it a component set? Oh man, I'm showing my age. It's good though. A component set. And you may not have had no equalizer on it. And you might have got your first Walkman. It had a little 3-band equalizer. It had a little 3-band equalizer, baby. But tone and bass and tone, or maybe tone, bass and treble, maybe just bass and treble. And that's something you have to take into consideration when you think about your MP3s. You may not want to hear the music the way that the artist intended for the music to be heard. You may like the song and like the music, but you may like it equalized in a way that you like to listen to it. So MP3 may not be the best way to listen to the music for you. Buana says, I remember the equalizer joint, but too much work. Well, listen, I always had the third lever up, the middle lever down, and the right lever up on a 3-band joint. On a full band equalizer, where they got like 6, anywhere between 6 and 12 equalizer bands. All right.
You have a call from.
Hey, yo. Caller with the last numbers 5639. Welcome to the Daily Go-Getterism Show. Thank you for calling in. What's on your mind tonight? How you feeling? What's good?
Yep. I think this is a good topic. I like this one. You know, there's still, even though we have all the new modern technological tools to listen to music, there are still some songs, some artists who sound better on vinyl. It's something about that old vintage, scratchy, crackly sound that works like vintage jazz You listen to Parker, Monk, Sarah Vaughan, Billie Holiday. That it's something about that era that sounds better on vinyl than anything.
Okay.
Like, yeah, it's nice when it's been remastered and it's crisp and clear, but it doesn't have the same feeling that you would get when you hear it on that old vintage vinyl with the crackling sound.
That's a fact. That's a fact. And a lot of people feel the way that you feel. So I've heard a lot of people say that they only want to listen to certain artists on certain platforms, like a record, a tape. And there used to be a tape called a reel to reel. Now, that wasn't the best way to listen to music because, reel to reel took up a lot of space. You had to be seasoned to be able to handle a reel to reel. Listen, Shente, I don't know why I keep popping up on your YouTube. Maybe it's because you keep coming through. But I know one thing, you already know how we do. You already know how we do. You fuck around, you lay around. So, you keep playing around with that dumb shit that you doing in the chat. You already know what's gonna happen. So we have an understanding. Now, I only been putting you in timeout. We can fix this thing. We can fix this thing so we never have to see each other again. It's up to you. It's up to you, sir. It's up to you. Buana says, nobody misses tapes, son. Stereos eat tapes. Yo, I miss tapes. I miss tapes. I love cassette. My favorite form of listening to music is tapes, number one, and CDs, number two.
Oh, you miss having to take that pencil and rewind it and turn it and taking some nail polish or super glue and gluing it back together.
I don't miss fixing tapes. I don't miss fixing tapes. But you have to think about my best music in my era was on tapes. So, when I was a young rapper running around, joining little crews and stuff and listen. Okay, all right, let me get this bitch ass nigga out of here. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Let me let go. Let me let go. Hold on. Let me get him out. Let me get a bitch out of here. Let me get you on the out of here, son. Let me get him on the body. All right, but yeah. So when the mixtapes back in the day when DJing was really, really popping and all crazy and stuff like that. Local MCs doing their thing. Jazzy Jeff out there when with the young Jazzy Jeff before it was Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince. Jazzy Jeff was a really, really popular DJ. Really, really popular DJ in Philly. So he was doing his thing. Many people consider him to be the best. So I remember listening to those tapes and other local DJs. Huh?
Get your chat again.
Yeah, but he only did one, and I don't know who Vincent Morales is. But I remember that this dude is Latino. I remember that. So if he only does one, I'll let him live. Once he starts.
No, he didn't do one. He's got a whole string going. I know you kind of delayed. He's still in the chat.
Oh, okay. There we go. All right. I got him. I got it. This motherfucking boy. God damn. God damn. What up, Carl Childers? What's good? He says vinyl sounds better if you're running good equipment. That's the thing about vinyl. You have to have superior equipment in order for it to sound good. Yamdi says, spit some bars, lad. We gonna spit some bars a little bit later. I definitely got some bars for y'all. If y'all want to hear it, I got it. But but yeah, so yeah, cassette tapes and cassette tapes are nostalgic to me because it was the boombox era.
Mm-hmm.
So you're listening to these mixtapes on this big ass radio. Sometimes it had the dual cassette. Most of the time, it just had the cassette in the middle, and people used to play the cassette like it was a mixer. So you know what I mean? Breaking them damn buttons on your damn radio. So it was crazy. So, but
I played a few in my day.
you know what I'm talking about. So I knew actual cassette tape DJs. Like, so they were like mixing with, I'm like, how, hey, it was what it was. We was working with what we was working with. You had to be a little light with them fingers. But anyway, so remember there were different types of tapes that you could buy. You could buy the regular cassette tape. You could buy the metal cassette tape that had CD clarity. You know what I mean? And there was another one in between. It was like between the regular tape and the metal tape. So you had like metal like tape or some shit like that. Because the metal tapes themselves were very expensive. Not too many people had the metal tape because you had to pay for that. But yeah, I like the way music sounded on tape. I liked it a lot. And you could see, just like with vinyl, you can feel when the quality was running out. Like with vinyl, you hear the cracking, and with tape, you hear that little light hiss. But the bass, on cassettes, it was different. It's different from CDs. I like CDs, but that cassette tape bass was different. It's different. So that's why I like cassettes. So what would you say was your favorite form of listening to music? Is it vinyl? Like if you could only have one out of all of the forms, which one would you pick?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Okay.
Because like I said, always certain things sound good on vinyl. Like rap doesn't sound good on vinyl.
You don't think rap sounds better on vinyl?
No. Trap music doesn't sound good on vinyl.
Oh, that's not rap music.
I said trap.
Yeah.
Rap doesn't, trap doesn't.
It's still hip hop, but you know.
Yeah, it doesn't sound good on vinyl. Not to me anyway. It sounds better on cassette, or of course CD, MP3, whatever we got now.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it's just nostalgia when it comes to that vintage or retro jazz that works for me. I don't know. But if I had to choose one, I guess it would have to be anything more modern because I can listen to everything on it and still get some good clarity.
Yeah. Buana says MP3 too. So yeah, I yeah. In the modern era, we would probably have to go with MP3 because it's hard to get the other stuff. You know what I mean? It can be really hard to get it the other way. So, of course, in the modern era, I would expect younger people, anybody under 25 years old, I would expect them to pick MP3s. And everything from the beginning of time is on MP3s now.
It's the same person. Get your chat.
I got you. This dude want to be down. He want to be down. He creates whole pages for that. That's what we doing. Damn, that's crazy. That is off the chain. But yeah, MP3s has everything from that was ever recorded on them, and you don't have to rewind, just push up a button and all of that. But I've never been to an MP3 store. You know what I mean?
No.
You know what I mean? I've been to a record store countless numbers of times. And I remember waiting to get paid at my job, 17 years old, and getting paid on Saturday. And I'm going right to the, even before I get off work, I'm already on my way to the record store. I'm already on my way to the record store. So, yo, it's that record store nostalgia, like wait or Tuesday waiting for the new music to come out.
Yes.
What? Like it's a new album is dropping by one of your favorite artists or whatever. You waiting for that release date. Some people even um stayed outside the store if it was a major artist dropping an album. So the record store was open at midnight because they couldn't sell the records. They do you remember this when they couldn't sell the records or the tapes before the release date?
Oh
They
yeah,
they would
and
get
it was at the time too. That's when you and your friends got together to wait. At
yeah.
that time, like if it was 12 midnight, 11:59, you're waiting, you're ready to go.
Now some record stores would sell you the tape or the record before the release date. So I had plenty of shit a week before it was released because they already had it in stock. They just couldn't sell it to the public. But if you had a little deal with them, they tell you, shh, you didn't get this record from here, but it already got sold. You know, the record was gold even before it released. It got released. Like, how you do that? So you think it sold all of these millions of copies or all of these thousands of copies on his first day? Like, yeah, it was more like the week before, helping out them sales. They just couldn't record them until the actual release date. All right, iHeart Oakland, what's up? What's good?
Shoot, nothing like going to looking on that Columbia house.
Oh my God!
Yeah, looking to see what the new cassettes were gonna be. To find a new name.
Facts.
Order your penny for a penny. Yeah, but up to their damn field. Columbia House about $17,000.
Man, listen, I don't know how they were staying afloat when they was alive, but I totally understand how come they're gone. I totally understand. You know what I mean? I don't know nobody. I don't know nobody who honored their agreement with Columbia House, and they had BMG music too. Columbia House.
One person who did.
Yeah.
One person who did. I thought she was the weirdest. I ever met because nobody else did. We were like, oh, weirdo.
Yeah. Now, according to the poll, all right, we can start counting on the polls because it's 20 votes on that. Which recording platform produced the best music when it was out? And 45% say vinyl records. Okay. Now, remember, vinyl was first, so it makes sense that would be leading in most people's minds. Okay, but 20% say 8-track and cassette tapes. Now, I never thought that 8-track sounded good. Ever.
Like you always play them in the car. I don't remember us having I don't remember an 8-track in the house. Maybe it was.
Yeah, it was. It definitely was.
Vinyl in the house and 8-track in the car.
No, we had both. Yeah, it was definitely 8-tracks in the house. All them big bulky, nasty ass tapes. You know what I mean? That you couldn't rewind. I hated 8-track. I fucking hated 8-track. That definitely goes down as the worst. That was the worst invention for music I ever heard of. Shit was ass. Don't want to hear a certain part again because you're going to have to wait until the whole shit. You know what I mean? You got to wait until the whole shit get played before you can hear that part again. You better be paying attention. All right, 15% say CDs. 15%, damn, y'all disrespect CDs. That's disrespectful. And MP3s got 20%. Wow, this is an interesting poll right here. That's an interesting poll.
20% for MP3s. I can see CDs. CDs skipped a lot though. That was the worst thing about them. They were so, especially in the beginning, the brand new phase of them, they were so, you had to be extremely gentle with them.
That's true. That's
with
in the beginning. They started calibrating them a lot better as time went on. But yeah, they were you had to be very gentle. But by the time the CDs made it in the car, they didn't skip. They didn't skip skip a lot. The CD in the car though, that six CD changer, that thing was heaven. That thing was heaven right there.
In the car, every dude I dated back then had that big. My brothers, everybody, I had it. Y'all had the real big book, and then you got the little small compact where you put all your favorites in.
The CD book, the photo album CDs. Man, you got 50 CDs. Yo, somebody robbed your car. They got all your music. You out hundreds of dollars instantly. And that happened a lot of times. I know, that CDs were valuable. Very, very valuable. But they were easy to steal, boy. They was easy to steal. At least with tapes. Tapes, tape cases and all of that, it took up a lot of space. So it took you a while to gather up some tapes. But CDs? Shit. Unless you didn't use those jewelry boxes that they came in.
We eventually had the little round case where you put them in and pull them off and had the spindle in the middle. Oh God, get your chat again.
I got you. I see him.
Niggas just don't have shit else to do.
I mean, nothing else. He coming up with, he making new account after new account after new account. Like, God, oh shit, what the hell?
That's just somebody who's miserable in their time or something. Because are you kidding me?
Okay, we good. But don't worry about the chat. Let's just, don't multitask. Stay here. Stay here. You ain't got to worry. They taken care of. They know how to do this. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so yeah. So like you were saying, so certain vintage music, old music sound better on records. I don't know. As much as I like records, I don't know if this motherfucker he trying to call in. This dickhead is trying to call in. Fuck it, let's let him have it.
You have a call from.
Fucking.
All right, dickhead, what's up?
Hey, did I go say clear room? Did I just say clear room? You don't get live stream.
All right, you got. Look, I'm gonna give you 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh shit. We good. Hold on. Let me get Kim back in my hand. All right, hold on. All right. Lordy, I swear. Lordy.
Let's get back to the show.
The funny thing is he got the nerve to use his real number. That's wild. That is wild. That's unprecedented. That is unprecedented.
I feel like he gave you his number to do freely what you want with it. That's all I'm saying.
Listen, motherfuckers is on the down low. They secretly in love. You know what I mean? He dangerously in love and shit. You know, I don't know. He's dangerous in love.
Be it today, tomorrow, 10 days from now, you have his number, and I feel like if he gave it to you, do what you see fit. So that's all I'm saying.
Un Academy, what's good? and Perk 10. Thanks for coming through. Appreciate y'all. All right, so yeah, I never thought anything sounded better on record, except there's one thing that I like on vinyl that I don't like on any other form, and that's scratching, like DJ scratching, like cutting and scratching. That's for vinyl. Like when I see cats doing it on CD, I'm like, no, it's too easy. I feel
the same way when I see people doing it now with all the electronics and stuff.
Yeah.
Like they don't have cassette, they don't have vinyl, they have nothing. They just pulling the knob here, pulling the knob there, turning something here, turning something there. It just doesn't give me, and I watch them doing it, and like, that doesn't give me the same feeling. It's not as enjoyable to watch.
When I first,
somebody's vinyl.
When I first saw somebody scratching on CDs, I was like, how can you do that? You needed the actual record. Like, when you rewind something on CD, it don't sound like, you know what I mean? Like, there's barely any sound. You know what I mean? It rewinds too fast. So I was like, they created that song, that sound on CDs. You can't scratch on those CDs. There's no groove of the record to scratch.
Visual.
Yeah.
Plus, that's a visual satisfaction. It's visually and audibly satisfaction. It just all comes together.
Yeah.
It attacks the senses and hold it. When they doing all this other stuff with it, it's not fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Like watching the whole scratching, putting the penny on there, all of the stuff that comes with a nickel on the needle, and all that comes with it. Flipping, turn around, doing it from the back, hitting it from the side, flipping over your head, doing it. Then somebody else, and then changing out the records at the same time while you're scratching another one. That theatric is amazing. You don't get that same thing with whatever they're doing now. You didn't get it with cassette. You never will. It's not going to ever be the same.
Yeah, so certain things are made for vinyl. Vinyl is just the platform for certain music, but it is a preference thing. It is a preference thing. That's why I asked y'all, well, what is your favorite? Like, if you had to only choose one, which one would you choose? Now, the thing is, the MP3 is the clearest, and it's going, and anything that you can get on vinyl, you can get on MP3 somewhere. But there are things that were made on vinyl because it goes so deep that you will never be able to discover on MP3 unless somebody uploaded it to that platform. You know what I mean? So there are hidden gems. Like, there are versions, you know, the song Sally by Stetsasonic. Some people don't like. There is a version of that song that's an import that I haven't been able to find on MP3. I can't find it nowhere. And there's also a version of Public Enemy #1 by Public Enemy. That's a long version where, like, at the end of that song, you know how Flavor Flav be talking, he be like, yeah, Chuck, man, that's what you gotta do. You gotta tell him just like that. You know what I'm saying? There's a version where he talks way longer, and it's an import. And so you can't get it at least I haven't been able to find it. I've been wanting to hear that shit for damn near 40, for over 40 years. So yeah, there's some things that you just can't get on MP3 without a human being who had the tape or who had the record, who had that vinyl copy, that import, unless they uploaded it. And that used to be the great thing about vinyl. There were different versions of vinyl that were available. Like, they had certain versions that only DJs would get, that would be able to get. The general public, it wasn't released to the general public. So yeah.
Now that you say that, there are some extended songs, in extended version of songs that I cannot find no matter where I look. I cannot find them.
Yeah.
Like that extended version of Tony Anniversary. I can't find it anywhere. But I had it on cassette. There's an extended version of Roger and Zapp, Slow and Easy.
Okay.
I had it on cassette. My mother had it on vinyl, but I cannot find it anywhere streaming at all.
And that's why the radio was so important. Because the radio sometimes would have a DJ that broke the rules and played that different version. So if you didn't get that tape on it that day or that night, that was on you. But if you got that version, you got an immortalized thing that the general public didn't have. You know what I mean? It was a hidden gem. So, you know, that's what I liked about vinyl. I didn't like the way, just like you didn't like the way the CDs skipped, I didn't like the way vinyl scratched. Like, you scratch your favorite record and somebody could just be mean and scratch your shit.
Ooh,
you give your nephew a spanking and that motherfucker's all right. And just like CDs, it's always on your favorite song. It's never scratched. Just like when your tape popped, it didn't pop on the songs you didn't like. It popped right there on your song. So you had to repair your tape, and your tape was going to have a little bit cut out because it happened on your favorite part or your favorite song, your favorite part of the tape with your favorite song.
Where it would just start to thin out a little bit each time. And then one day that sucker stopped.
You knew when the tape was going to pop, though.
You sure did. You could tell.
You knew it was coming. Did everybody go ahead and clean them heads on the little wheels? And some people didn't do it. They didn't do it.
I did. I put that cassette cleaner in there every time.
Man, I was a technician. You know what I mean? I worked for my tape. I'm like, man, I can't have my tape popping. I done dismantled so many Walkmans and shit. What? I had a whole backpack full of nothing but cassette tapes. Mad cassette tapes. Shit was crazy. Shit, but so yeah. So there's a certain nostalgia about certain certain eras that are going to make you value that time. I remember the first time I ever heard a CD playing, and I think my brother had went out and bought the CD version of Diamond Life. Was it Diamond Life that had Is It a Crime on it?
I think so. I don't know.
I think it was.
I don't know the titles of my favorite songs at the time. What I was, but yeah.
I believe that Is It a Crime was on Diamond Life. So my brother had really good speakers, and he had got this CD player, and it had like a good receiver, so that shit was blasting. I'm listening to Is It a Crime? Like, yo. This shit sound good. You know what I mean? But at first I couldn't tell the difference between a CD and a tape player because I always used the really good metal tapes. Perk 10 said, oh, that's what caused it. Yeah. After the wheels and shit on the cassette player started to get dirty, it started to stick to the tape and the writing was on the wall. Plus, sometimes we didn't take care of our cassette tapes, spilling juice on them and shit. Beer. Yeah, shout out to all y'all future alcoholics that spilled liquor on y'all damn tapes and wonder how come it's why it's all wrapped up in the damn cassette player. Put that bitch in there wet. It came out sticky as hell. You know beer is sticky.
It would be a little pause, and then all of a sudden it would just stop playing. You could hear it just
Man, yo, you hear it inside the tape player clicking, click, 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 like, it's eating up my tape. It's eating it.
And the move was to stop it and get a pen or a pencil and go to work like a doctor performing surgery on that cassette.
We got an anonymous caller calling in. We're not taking on now. No, you have to show your number tonight. No anonymous callers tonight. Sorry.
Person said they use Scotch tape. Yep. No.
You think I did?
Had clear nail polish, Scotch tape. Sometimes I use a little dab of just take a little Q-tip or a toothpick, put a little super glue right there and press it down, press it together. Oh God, it was terrible.
Whatever you had to do, you did it. It had to be done. It was not an option. Sorry, anonymous. We won't be taking any. This is. I know this anonymous caller. You know, no trolling tonight, sir. No trolling tonight. You won't be trolling tonight. No. Won't be trolling tonight, sir. You keep it up. I'm gonna say your number on air. The whole thing. I'm gonna have him call you. Like he's lonely. Give him a call. Give him a call. Perk 10 says, I use Scotch tape when it popped. Yeah, I mean, you had to do what you had to do. You get the little scissors. So, you know what I mean? You ain't want to use them big shears. You ain't want to use your mom big shears. Hopefully you work that.
Scissors.
Fingernail scissors or those little surgical scissors. You know, them Jones had the little light cuts. They was made specifically for cassette tapes. Yeah, cassette tapes drove me crazy, but them Jones was good. When it was on with a cassette tape, it was on. So because no doubt, the cassette tape in the car. When you had a car stereo, you had a cassette tape. What?
Woo. That's when you had the box that had all the. I had mine color coordinated. I'd take a marker and put these for this ride, and I put these over here for this ride. Depending on who was in the car with me.
Yeah.
This section here. Oh yeah.
Without a doubt, the cassette player and the tape. I mean the tape cassette player in the car. That thing was monumental. That thing was monumental. Well, a lot of people just had a good radio. You had a cassette tape player. You stepped up. Then when the CD player came over, it was like you was a baller. Like you got a CD player in the car. What?
I'm really surprised it wasn't as many more accidents as you think it would have been because of people switching out CDs, switching out cassettes. Because we switched them all the time.
Yes.
Playing 1, 2 from a song or two we like from one cassette, and you go switch to the other. Until you start making them, then you would make a cassette that had the songs on there. You put exactly what you want on there to play in what order you wanted it to play, and then you just stretch it out a little bit.
Hold on. Remember not having the CD player in your car yet? So you had to have the adapter that was a cassette tape that you put in the joint. It had the line. It had the cord that went to the CD player, your little portable CD player. Yeah.
Hey, you thought you were doing something when you had that. You thought you were doing something when you had that.
Yeah. That thing was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, and sometimes they would break too. That thing would break too. Yo, that shit, man. Yeah, the little.
That thing was real. That thing was really fragile. Like any little jolt that hit the floor, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
Can't tell you how many of those I went through. I remember getting Velcro and making a little spot in the center console so I could, and then I put tape and Velcro into the CD player and then put the Velcro in there so it would stay in place. So I would probably hit the floor.
Yeah. Those was them days.
Said, don't get it short. Oh, that was the worst.
Absolute worst. The absolute worst. That thing was off the chain. So yeah, cassettes had a journey. Cassettes had a journey. You know what I mean? You gotta give cassettes a certain amount of respect because they did things that no other platform did. Cassettes was your way. I even had the cassette adapter for the MP3s.
Mm-hmm. I had that too.
That's the thing about the CDs and the CD players. They didn't give you a bridge to any other platform. Cassettes gave you the platform. You could hook up vinyl to a cassette player, a cassette adapter, CD to a cassette adapter, and MP3s to a cassette adapter. Cassettes was different. That was the most useful electronic or technological device for all platforms. You're like, yo, let it run through the cassette. You may lose a little bit of quality, but you're gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right.
We didn't care how much quality we lost. We still was listening.
Well, see, the thing is, you didn't have a lot of times. You didn't have anything to compare it to in the first place. You don't know what you don't have. You can't miss what you don't have. You know what I mean? What you never had. So yeah, if you didn't know that you was missing quality on the cassette player, it wasn't no big deal. Unless you had.
Man, look how fortunate we are to have lived in an era we had the versatility of every form, maybe with the exception to phonograph.
Yeah.
That may have been the only thing, but we had access. We were fortunate to live through every possible form of music that was offered up until now.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas this new group, they don't have anything. All they have is streaming. That's all they know is streaming. And when all this shit shuts down, what are they going to do? Whereas most of us still have some form of access to listen to music, just to even watch movies and those kinds of things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just got somebody who went to the very last existing blockbuster on the planet. It's only one left, and they went to it. And I'm like, we would still know how to survive if this stuff shuts down. These new people, the streaming services shut off. What are they gonna do? No Spotify, no Amazon Music, none of that kind of stuff. No Kindle, nothing to listen to. They won't be able to. They won't be able to stream anything or listen to anything. I still have a recorder. I still have the old cassette player with the double side with the triple. As a matter of fact, they had the cassette delivered. I still have one of those, and I still have some cassettes. We still have record players. We still have vinyl. My dad, his whole basement from wall to wall is nothing but vinyl.
Okay.
So, we still have that, whereas these kids, boy.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, they can't even work a rotary phone, man. I mean, what can you do? What can you do?
As crappy as the 8-track was, if push came to shove and that's all we had, we would know how to use it. We would be happy with it, but we would know how to use it. Whereas they wouldn't.
Well, one thing about vinyl, one advantage that vinyl had that no other platform had is that you can play a vinyl record without any electricity. You can play a vinyl record with your fingernail. Have you ever done it?
No.
Yeah, you can play a vinyl record with your fingernail. It'll just turn you. It'll be light You won't hear it like everybody in the room won't hear it, but you can actually hear it. And when you by yourself a lot of times with nothing but a record player, you find out a whole lot of shit.
I see. But
Yeah.
who knew?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can play a record with your fingernail. And if you have a turntable these days, I would advise you to try it out. You can actually just put your fingernail in the groove of the record, let it spin, and you will hear the record. It's amazing. I found that out when I was about, I don't know, 9, 10 years old. But yeah, hold on a second.
Mm-hmm.
So you're on.
Yeah, what's up?
What's up?
You know what's worse than dying?
No, and I'm not talking about that tonight. What else you got?
You scream for attention, but all they hear is
Nah, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. If you're not talking about music tonight, you're not talking at all.
You're not afraid to die. You're terrified of fading.
See, I answered his call on my phone because I got the app on my phone. Like, no, sir, no. I hope you're not suicidal tonight because unfortunately you're not gonna make it. But it ain't gonna be my fault. You were sad. You were sad way before you ever met me. I'm saying you ain't blaming me for that shit. And I know your family don't know. Ain't no way they gonna be like, so you mean you mean
I don't like it.
not doing that shit tonight.
Well, nothing else. He's persistent.
Motherfuckers, they want to run interference tonight. I'm like, what the hell is going on tonight? This has been a crazy week. This has been a crazy week, but somebody got to put the brakes on this bullshit. Somebody got to put the brakes on it. Like, no, y'all doing too goddamn much tonight. I cannot take it.
Remember when it was a big deal about playing the vinyl backwards?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, of course.
Open the portal of hell and all that kind of stuff. He played vinyl backwards. No, that's not nothing. You're just playing it backwards.
Yeah, it ain't.
Record, that's how you do it.
Ain't nothing special about playing records backwards. I swear it's not. I swear. Hidden messages in the vinyl. Like, trust me, they could have just recorded that, the right way. They could have done that. Yeah, you know what I mean? You're not gonna find God in the by playing the record back. And trust me, God is right there on the right version. It's too much. It's too much. They doing too much. These motherfuckers draining tonight. Draining. Okay, so yeah, like I said, it was a big deal when I was buying records. Like going to the record store to buy records and tapes and CDs, that was my shit. And that's the thing I miss the most. I miss buying music, owning music. My music. Like even, it's cool to be able to play any song that you want to hear nowadays. That's cool. But you don't own any music. You don't own it. You know what I mean?
Did you still go buy vinyl?
No. I wouldn't go back. I wouldn't go. I'm not buying another turntable. That vinyl shit is dead. And it cost, the albums, they cost too much. Get the fuck out of here. I'm not paying no $20-something for no goddamn vinyl out. What? That ain't that deep. It ain't that deep at all.
I had some vinyl for, I think it was his birthday last year, Father's Day, whatever it was. And it was a dual special edition of Samara Joy. And that sucker was like $60.
That's what I'm saying.
I love this man so much. And I'm like, boy, $60 for 2 records?
They brought back vinyl so they could rape and pillage all of y'all.
Man.
You know, all y'all nostalgic. Oh, I remember me and my grandmother used to listen to this record. Nah, fuck all of that. Not for that price, y'all didn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was like, boy, I need to get him a different gift because this stuff, other stuff, this was, I mean, I would have got it anyway, but I'm just saying, it was a tough decision.
Do you remember 78 RPM?
70.
Them thick, they was vinyl records, but they was these thick ass vinyl records that in 78 went real fast, but it would play it it would play the records at regular speed.
It seems like my grandmother had some. It's probably some still in the front now because we got that old record player. That was like it's a big case. This takes probably 10 people to lift it, and the part you play the record on is inside one side. Then there's this big opening on the other side with something else down inside of it. And I believe there are some records like that in there that are real, real sick.
Yeah, 78 RPM.
Those ones look like you could stab the hell out of somebody once it's broken.
Yeah. Let me look up when they discontinued 78s. When did they discontinue 78 RPM records? Let's see. Damn, 1960. So all the 78s that we listened to was old. 78 RPM records were largely discontinued by about 1960 in the United States and Europe. Some non-commercial or special order releases may have continued for a few more years, but the format generally faded out as 45 and 33 and a third RPM vinyl records became more common in some parts of the world, like India and the Philippines. 78s continued to be used for a longer period, even into the late 1960s. Okay. Yeah, yeah, so I guess that sounds right, because all of the 78 RPM records that I've ever seen were old. It wasn't I never saw no 78s in the store. So that was way before, that was definitely before our time, but yeah, it exists. It existed. Damn, 78, it was a thick ass. Like, I used to be wondering, like, why is this record so thick? It's crazy. But yeah, that's that.
45, when they came out with 45, you thought we were doing something with a 45. You get that little yellow piece you put in the middle, put it on there, thought you were doing something with a 45. It was just a smaller version of something else. It was fragile.
You know what I didn't like about 45s? You never got the long version of songs. You always got the short version of songs. I hated that. I want to hear the album version. You know what I mean? I'm 45. They cut out too fast. I'm like, where the rest of the song at?
And it seemed like it was only 3 songs, 2 or 3 songs on there, maybe 5 top on the 45. It wasn't a lot of music on there.
Sure, it was one song. On my 45, one song. One song on the A side, one song on the B side. So, yeah. 45s, I missed them like a toothache. I used to be like,
yeah, they weren't enjoyable.
Yeah.
They weren't enjoyable. At first, it seemed like something, and then you're like, oh, okay. I think the only part we enjoyed was a little, like I said, a little yellow part in the middle. And then you lose that, and then you have to go get another one. You'd have a pack of them and continually lose them. So
when they started coming up with the maxi single, the 12-inch single, I always wondered, like, what's up with that? Like, it was the long version. It was looking like a whole album, but it was only one song on it, maybe 2, But I still never really understood what the purpose of the 12-inch record was. It was the maxi single, you know what I mean? But I found out later on that the 12-inch single was recorded at a higher equalized rate, so they were actually louder. So if you were rocking a part, if you were a DJ, the 12-inch singles are what you wanted because it played louder. It was more of a the party version, or the event version of whatever you were buying, or whatever song that you were playing on the record. Double X Ghoul, Double X Bro. Too many necklaces, too many bracelets, too many opinions. Fuck you. And that shit, I do what I want to do. I wear what I want to wear. You gotta watch it. You know what I mean? No disrespect, but come on, man, you sound stupid. Fuck you talking. I got on 2 Chainz. You ever listen to the rapper 2 Chainz? I was wearing 2 Chainz before he ever did that, by the way. You know what I mean? It's just letting you know. No, I innovate around here. Nobody tells me what to do. You know what I mean? But it's all good. Welcome to the show. Kinda, you know what I mean? It's all good.
I don't think some of these new artists, their music would last on vinyl or cassette because their songs are so short. And I mean short. So their songs are so short, and I don't think they have extended versions, whereas we had, like, Earth, Wind, and Fire would have an extended version. We had, everybody. They just had extended versions of their songs. Like I said, Roger and Zach had one of So and Easy and Computer Love extended version. But these new people, their songs are 2.5 minutes tops, maybe 3 minutes. You're definitely not getting 6 minutes, 5 or 6 minutes worth of music. Yeah. And I don't think they would do well on vinyl or cassette because that quick cutoff, it's tough to get those started. And then for the songs to be on for a hot minute and then it's off, oh no. That would be a different kind of disappointment.
I don't know. I like the singles.
Music would have to stream.
I like the singles. I dug the singles. At least they had the long version. At least they had the long version on there.
Yeah, but these new artists, they would survive. They don't make anything that's long. Everything is just a 6-second and it's over.
Well, it's funny because I guess things are coming full circle. Because the songs back in the 60s, the 50s and 60s were no more than about 2.5 minutes.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Think about all of the Motown songs. None of those songs were 4 minutes long. None of them. You know what I mean? Them joints was over quick. Baby, baby, where did our love go? That song wasn't even 3 minutes long.
I'm gonna have to go look now. Now that you said that.
Yeah. Let me see.
Those songs always seem longer. They felt longer. Maybe that's what it is. They just felt longer.
Mm-hmm. They started off with a bang, but them shit was over in a minute. And that's why they were requested heavily. You know what I mean? Because they were short. It's a marketing tool. Let me hold on a second. How long is the song Baby Love by the Supremes? Let me see. Come on, man. 2 minutes and 4 seconds.
Man, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Let's test another one. How long is I'll Be There by the Four Tops? Oh, this was long. 3 minutes and 57 seconds. That don't sound right. Wait a minute. The original Four Tops song is 2 minutes and 57 seconds long. Yeah. That sounds about right. Let's do My Girl. How long is the original version of My Girl by The Temptations? 2 minutes and 45 seconds.
Why do those songs seem so long?
I'm telling you, Motown didn't make albums and they made short singles. And that's why they records were requested heavily on the radio. Them songs was mad short. But it wasn't just Motown. If you listen to any of those Elvis songs back in the day, the songs were short as shit.
No.
Just saying. It was a marketing tool. They knew if they left you on a high note, you was gonna request that song on the radio time after time after time, and it worked. And that's how a lot of those artists, that's how they won Grammys and all kinds of awards, and that's how they sold a lot of records, because you played it over and over and over and over and over. Whereas if it was longer, you probably, wouldn't have retained it. So they've been working on our attention span for a long time. It's not just the internet. The internet made it worse. Oh, shit. Wait. This motherfucker made another account. Now he wants to talk, though. Now he want to talk. Look at this shit. Yo, the drugs, my brother.
Sitting there just making account after account after account.
It's the drugs. It's the drugs. That dude is on drugs. It's either the alcohol, the weed, the mix of it, maybe some pills. You know what I mean? He reminds me of a Xanax user. He's just too depressed to go to bed. He can't sleep. He can't sleep. But yeah, so he must be losing stamina on the accounts that he can use. Like, if I put the monkeys on there, he's gonna recognize me and get rid of me quick. I'll come in here and I'll act like I got some sense, even though I'm talking dumb shit. All right, it's all good though. As long as he play nice with the rest of the kids. Like, y'all don't have to play with him, but he got to play with y'all. So he be all right. But yeah, those songs back in the day was short as shit. So it's not surprising that the songs today are short by these hip hop artists, because the internet has fucked up our attention span so bad. Many people, if they see a video that's longer than 5 minutes, they like, oh no, I can't do it. I can't do it. Hold on a sec.
You have a call from
Detroit.
Well, look, I see somebody needs a late pass. Look, just go ahead and take your seat. You know what I mean? We'll talk about what happened later. Go ahead.
How you doing? How you doing, my brother?
Yeah, I'm good. This show has been very interesting tonight, to say the least.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and look at it.
Very, very interesting.
The last few minutes. What do you say?
You got a nerve.
The last 12 minutes of the show.
You know what I call this? I pull the Timbs.
Oh, that's what we're doing?
You pull the
Okay.
I can pull the Timbs tonight.
Like, I'm gonna pull a U on you.
Yeah, you go. I said, you know what? I pull the Timbs.
Already.
Hey man, this is what happens when the bed hugs you. You know how that feeling is. You get in the bed, you get in the middle of the bed is so creased up, it just holds you and comforts you, and it's like.
Well, son already said he had a nap malfunction, so.
Listen, I was late too.
Late?
You know how you wake up for something, you can tell that you late? Like, you don't even gotta look at the clock. Like, I know I done fucked up. There's something about the air when you wake up like, oh shit. The only question is, how late am I? Like, how behind am I? Do I have time to wash my face, or do I gotta bolt, put my shoes on and bolt right out the door? You know what I mean?
Because you got a whole routine before you get on there. You gotta make your drink. You gotta make sure everything is set up on you. You gotta get the bones on. You gotta make sure You gotta make sure you got your beads on your wrist, your smart watch, and your regular watch.
No drink got made tonight. Trust me, I was fucked up. You know what I mean? I'm all and it's funny because all of the things you just said, I be so whenever I'm late, I'm so disoriented. Like, should I? You know what I mean? I be lost.
How did he get back, son?
Huh?
How did he get back in?
Oh, I didn't take him out. Long as he chatting, he can stay.
Oh, she gonna talk about how did he get back in? She said it so eloquently.
I'll tell you what he is. He's been removed about 5 times.
Look, she said it so eloquently with conviction. How did he get back in? That's so fucked up. I thought you told me to be quiet.
Look, man. Look. What we not gonna do is he's not gonna be the subject of it. We got 19 more minutes in the show. It ain't gonna be about him. Fuck him. So Troy, do you know what we talk about tonight?
I love old school records, the 45 and the albums. And if you're a DJ, you shouldn't be talking about you on the ones and twos.
I could dig it.
Yeah.
You cannot never say as a DJ. You cannot say DJ Scratch and Sniff on the ones and twos. Because you're not on the ones and twos. You're on the damn laptop. You're on the laptop and the motherfucking digital whatever things.
So if you could only choose, I got 2 questions. If you could only choose one platform to play music, which one would you choose?
Records.
Really?
Yeah. Old school records.
Okay.
Because the number one is authentic. It takes you back to your childhood. It's relaxing. You know, you like to hear that little static at the beginning.
Told you, the static, that scratch.
That scratch
I mean,
at the beginning.
it's distinctive. It's distinctive, but it ain't good.
It's not good, but it takes you to your childhood. It makes you reminisce. As much as I don't fuck with my older brother, he was a DJ. And I sat in that motherfucking basement while he played music. I wouldn't have knew nothing about about the group The Barge. I wouldn't have knew nothing about Stay With Me. Because I remember he played that whole album in the basement. I remember Stay With Me. Because that was one of my favorite songs. I was in the basement. I remember him playing Isn't She Lovely by Stevie Wonder. And I remember the baby in the fucking background. And I was like, damn, he got a fucking baby on the album. You know what I mean?
He did. Isn't She Lovely? Yeah.
The relevancy of things that bring you back to your childhood and make you reminisce about them days that you didn't have a responsibility. Only thing you had to do was just live and enjoy life as a kid. You can't beat that, bro.
I don't know a time in my life. I swear to God, I don't know a time in my life when I never had to worry.
Well, I remember a time in my life when I didn't have a worry. I didn't have to worry because everybody else was worrying around me. Now, as I got older, you know, my sister started doing dumb shit. That's when the worrying happened.
Well, what I'm saying is, you know, even if you don't have worries about bills and adult responsibilities, we had homework. That was a worry. We had school.
Let me call you right back, man.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. But yeah, if you had homework, that was a worry. If you had to go to school every day, that was a worry. You know what I'm saying? Like they
when I was 6, I had no worries.
Yeah.
Going to school wasn't a worry because I loved going to school.
You ever have acne?
No, not when I was 6.
I'm just saying. Just saying. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I understand what people be saying, but then again, I'm like, kids had worries. Because if kids fucked up, kids got their ass whooped. That was a worry.
I think they came along when I got like 8. Then that's when I'm kind of worried. Came 6, 5. I don't know what word.
Just saying. Just saying. Like I don't know a time in my life when I ain't had nothing to worry about. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I was a different kind of kid. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, tapes and CDs were I think for the era of music that is special to me, tapes and CDs cover it. Definitely cover it. Because cassettes came out before I was born. You know, they may not have been as popular as they grew to be, but you know, I know cassettes cover everything I need covered. CDs.
It's crazy now. I stream a lot of music. Like I have a lot of, like even on YouTube, I probably have over 1,500 videos saved. And I'm not watching the videos, I'm just letting the music play.
Okay.
And so, like the other day, there's this song I like, and I never paid attention to the video, but one day the other day I just paid attention to the video. At first I was confused because I didn't know it was a girl or boy singing. That's the first part.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, what the hell is this song really about?
Okay.
But I like streaming, don't get me wrong. But yeah.
No, streaming is cool. But, you know, it's just, I don't have a nostalgia with streaming.
Nah, I don't have any with it at all.
Unfortunately, with streaming, I look at streaming as we got streaming when they took away everything else.
Like Napster.
Yeah. But everything was still popping when Napster came out. But what I mean is, because streaming is now, CDs are all but gone, tapes are gone, vinyl is back, but I don't even consider it, like I said, with the price that you said that you paid for vinyl, I'm not doing that. I'm not fucking doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just, you know, they just, you know, raping your pockets. And I'm not with all of that. I don't need vinyl enough to pay that much money for no music that I could get for free with just getting Spotify or something like that. Like, we're not doing that. Shout out to YouTube.
But it's definitely keeping these record stores, this new group of people who want vinyl because of the nostalgia they're not familiar with and they want to get on board with it. They are keeping these record stores afloat because they don't understand that there's a huge price difference. So when they get a record, they're thinking, oh, $20 for it. Yeah, that makes sense. And we know, shoot, that is not it at all.
You better go to somebody's garage sale.
Yeah.
That's what you better do. Like, yeah, those record stores the record stores that are left
when
now.
The library has its sale. My dad goes and gets cassette and old vinyl from the library when the library has its monthly sale. He goes and gets stuff from there and puts it in his.
Oh, your vinyl, your library has they sell. Okay, I didn't know libraries did that.
Well, I don't know if everyone does, but I know ours do. We have a sale twice in a month. I think it's in the beginning. You can get however much you can fit in these bags they give you for $5, and it's anything in the library that they have.
Okay.
So it could be books, it could be videos, it could be cassettes, it could be albums, whatever it is that you can fit in this bag for like $5. And then later on in the month, they'll have where everything is like half off or 75% off or something like that.
All right, that sounds like a pretty good deal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know nothing about that. Not a thing. Not a thing. Not a thing. All right, cool.
It's time to go re-up on some music or whatever, videos, whatever.
Yeah.
But like I said, I just believe our Gen X, I believe our generation is the last of the Mohicans for a lot of things because we came in on whatever our parents and grandparents had going on, and we're still relevant in whatever our children and that group has going on, and some younger than them. So we're in the middle. We're in the cusp of it all. We get to benefit from the joy and the disappointment from all of these things, and especially when it comes to music, because we also are the same group who got to hear the extended version of a song, and we also got to hear where the song came from and which era and how it was recreated for the next era and how somebody else recreated it. Like, so many people think when they hear Missy Superfly, they hear that beat in the new song. Oh, you got that from Missy. Well, that's not even hers.
Not at all.
What they think it is. So I'm just saying, we are the last one, so we got to enjoy it. Like I said, I think the only thing we really didn't get to indulge in may have been the phonograph, unless you had a great great grandparent who may have one in the attic or still sitting down in their great room or something like that. But we're familiar with it. We know what it is. Whereas these young kids would have a clue what it is. They barely know what a record player is, so they wouldn't even have a clue about a phonograph. So
that's true. The phonograph. Yeah, we had a record player. I had no phonograph. We had a record player.
We didn't need it.
Hold on, remember that?
I had a friend who was she had older parents, like her parents were my grandmother's and my grandfather's age, so her parents' age. So she was a late baby, and they had a phonograph.
Okay. Remember the hi-fi, that furniture that had the TV, the record player, the radio, and all of that shit. Yeah, that was a heavy.
Everybody's house had one. That was a sign of some kind of. I had a little Rockefeller money.
Look, that was
we had that.
That was real furniture. That shit was heavy as hell. That shit was made of wood.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
This record player I have right now, it probably takes 10 people to listen. Every piece of furniture in this house that I didn't bring in requires at least 10 people to listen and take it out of here.
That was a major piece of furniture. You know what I mean? And when you look at the size of that fucking screen on the TV, what was it about? Maybe 12 inches, 15 at tops. This big ass.
Stereo and cabinet.
Yep. You know what I mean? Big picture tube in the back. That shit was heavy as hell. That shit was heavy as shit. Big cord hanging out the back.
Somebody brought that back and made a lighter version of it and made it where not only could you play whatever on for the music part, but if it had a way where it connected, we could play it on the television as well. Oh, they would make a killing with some of these new people. They would make a killing, especially if it fits one of the big screens. Oh, that would do it. And in theater sound or live concert sound or something, that would make a killing like that.
Yeah, playing it in IMAX. All right, so this
remember the cassette? What was the name of the cassette? Remember the commercial? The guy was sitting in the chair. Was it Miramax?
Maxell.
That doesn't know. Was it Maxell that it was?
Yeah, it was Maxell. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cassette.
And he getting blown back, blown away.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I stayed. Maxell was definitely my favorite type of tape. So you had the Maxell, you had the Scotch, you had the TDKs. Give me the Max and the Memorex. Can't forget Memorex.
Yeah.
Is it live or is it
They
Memorex?
some crystal clear. Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. That's the one I'm talking about. Is it live?
Yep. Is it live or is it Memorex?
Yeah, it gave you a crystal clear sound for the most part.
Depending on the quality of the tape.
Yeah. Yeah.
If that tape was brown, it was going to lose quality fast. The roach color tape. All right, let's see what this poll is looking like before we go in these birthday shout outs. We're going to get on the body here. This show is, I got to move past this shit. All right, which recording platform produced the best music when it was out? 38% of people said vinyl records. This is out of 29 votes. 21% says 8-track and cassette tapes. Okay. CDs, 17%. I'm telling you, CDs getting the shaft tonight. And MP3s, 24%. Wow. This is an interesting poll. 38% say vinyl. That's crazy.
Something about that vinyl. Yeah, I think it's nostalgia.
It has to be.
Might be the nostalgia of it all. And like you said, you can't scratch. You don't have the theatrics that come with scratching and mixing and all that with anything other than vinyl.
Well, one thing about vinyl that I remember, and you can't really discount this. Vinyl records it was like a picture. You know what I mean? The credits on the back, the insert, the actual part that had the vinyl record inside of it. Sometimes it had the words to the songs on there. You know what I mean? So you had to pull out shit. I've seen I've seen records or albums by like Parliament, Funkadelic, and other artists that had a whole pop-up book out of the album. It was a whole pop-up book. Like, wow, that Motor Booty album.
Artwork.
Yeah, but it was when you opened up the album, it like shit popped up. It was crazy. How much did they pay for that shit?
And remember, it used to be songs that came with little posters folded up on the inside.
Yeah.
God, who was that? Was it Michael Jackson who had the one with the poster on the inside? It was him or Prince. Somebody had a poster folded up on the inside.
Oh, that was Prince. Prince did it. Prince did it. I think that was for the 1999 album, I believe. But yeah, sometimes you got stuff with the jacket. With the jacket of the vinyl album, so I can understand that. I get it, and then it still got me scratching my head like, vinyl. But I think this pretty much reflects the demographic of who was watching this show tonight. Because you ain't gonna tell me that no millennials or no damn Gen Zs are going to pick no vinyl. No way.
No.
All right. Let's go ahead and do these birthday shout outs. Listen, thanks for calling in. I appreciate you so much. You already know what it is. If you
have a good one, everyone. Stay safe.
All right, good night. Have a great one. Be safe. All right, we have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious May 16th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special because they are special because they are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They get number one out the box. My girl, Nichelle Seiko. Happy birthday to you and Also, Leslie Harris, happy birthday to no. Those were the 15th. Let me see. Wait, let me get it. Monica Casey, Wadia, Shahida Thompson. Let me see. Melendez Sin, Tamwa Johnson, and Jennifer Slightwork, LaJoya Green, Charlotte Reed, Antoinette Taylor, Jonisha Kismet, and last but not least, Yahaneri Lopez. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all. And I hope that today finds you all in good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that goes out to each and every person out there born on this glorious May 16th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on and do the damn, the rock out. Rock on and do the damn, rock out. Rock on and do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. Anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, all right, y'all. Vinyl, records, tape, CDs. It doesn't matter when you're rocking with the C's, or should I say the sounds in it down. You feel good when you hear the music and it be around. Everything is going to work out fine. Every platform of music had its own time. The time that you choose is on you. I can't tell you what to do. It's like, who do you think you are trying to tell me how to be a star? You felt like when it came on, it's on. And I would like to warn you, don't interrupt. If you see me got the headphones, it sounds good. Yup. All right, y'all. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. Love y'all right back to life. We will be back later on today. Yeah, later on today. We will be back later on today, 1:30, baby. You know how we said. I said we will be back later on today. Yay, tomorrow to some, but we will be back 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Urban Therapy with Sun show. So make sure y'all come on through. We're gonna have a good time today, tomorrow, depending on how you look at it. Hold on. Let me see if we have a topic that I'm willing to share. Let me see. Nope. We'll have something good for y'all. Thanks everybody for coming through. I appreciate y'all so much. Hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. I will see y'all on the flip side. Yo, have a good night. Don't make any exceptions for that. Holla! Peace.